All right, now we're recording.
Hey, welcome to episode number 13.
Again.
You didn't see the first part because we forgot to hit record. So
I forgot to hit record.
Our cigars are already lit. My mic's in a different place, so I'll definitely hit it. And yeah, so that was fantastic.
So episode 13.
My name is Mike. This is Chuck. Today we're going to cut up one of my favorite cigars, which is the...
We're not gonna go through the whole spiel and making fun of Mark again.
Ah, damn it!
That was quality content.
It was quality content.
Content. Mark backed out on us.
Yeah, Mark was supposed to be in the middle. I think we announced it last week that he was going to be in, but he had some family stuff, and so he couldn't come in this week to nerd out on our cigars. So we're not cutting open a Craft Impuro. We are cutting open a Arturo Fuente, one of their cheapest cigars ever.
Cheapest stick we got in the shop.
It is the...
Well, except for the Odysseys, but
yeah. So
Odysseys don't count.
The cheapest cigar we sell. It's not Fuente's cheapest cigar. They actually have something a little bit lower end than this, and but this is one of my go-to everyday cigars. They come in boxes of 50. They are fantastic. Yes. As far as taste, as far as time that you are smoking it, and I don't know. I always enjoyed the draw on it. It's fantastic.
They burn well too.
Mm-hmm.
So I normally smoke the Cameroon wrappered one. I'm gonna go ahead and sound intelligent this time around.
Cameroon, nice job. But I got the Maduro today, and we're gonna cut open a Maduro today, and we're gonna unroll that one.
We're gonna cut open a Maduro, not for any specific reason, other than the fact there was more of those in the box.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
but
I normally smoke the Cameroon wrapper, and they burn well too. Mm-hmm. I never have a problem. Like if I'm working on it, those are the ones I grab when I work on a car.
Yeah. Because
I can set them down and walk away from them. Oh man, I come up here Sunday, and grabbed a Hoyo.
Yeah.
Cut it. Was helping Jeff back there a little bit.
Right.
I was digging that stuff out to inventory it.
Right.
And I set it down on my cup of tea and dropped it right in my cup of tea.
Oh, no.
Just soaked it in my cup of tea.
That sucks. It's not even like a $4 Breva.
Right.
It's a
so mad.
$10 Hoyo.
I was mad. You can ask Jeff. I got pissed off. I was pretty mad about it.
Chuck smokes the Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure Selection. We had 3 sizes in stock. What do you get normally? Like the middle size?
I think isn't it the number 2?
Yeah.
The middle size?
Yeah. So that's kind of your pleasure cigar.
I like that cigar.
Yeah, it's a good cigar. You kind of go on the mild cigars. You're more on the milder end, mild to medium, and then I think I'm literally all over the place.
I think the strongest thing I smoke is the Principes.
Oh yeah,
when I get them.
Yeah, those are definitely strong.
Yeah,
we'll have them this year.
That one I got over at
maybe.
The one I got over at Lit
mm-hmm.
when I was over in Chesterfield that last time, because I hadn't ate. I don't eat breakfast. Oh, it messed. I was driving home and I had to put it down. It was messing me up.
And it's a little bitty guy. It's smaller than what we're smoking here.
Right. Well, they don't have the one we get. We normally get that little number 6.
Okay.
Is it the number 6, the small one?
Oh,
theirs is a little bit bigger than ours.
Okay.
Which is what she said.
Right.
But,
that's what she said. I got you. Oh man, we just really went super nerdy right there because we did it at the exact same time.
That thing was doing a number on me. I think I didn't even hit 270 before I started feeling. Well, I sat there for a minute with it too.
Yeah.
I didn't even hit 270 before I started feeling it. I was like, oh my god.
So
go and put you down.
I love this cigar because of its size, because of the draw, because of the taste. It is a short filler cigar, so we're gonna see kind of what we've been seeing. Last week we did the the Isla del Sol, and then man, if we could have one podcast where you don't interrupt us.
It's every time. I should have answered it. That would have been quality content too.
We'd have to start over because the F-bomb's coming.
No, probably not. I've just been asking them what their real name is, and they hang up on me. Like, buddy, your name is not Dan.
Right.
It's not Jeff.
Right.
It's not.
My name is Steve.
No.
No, it's not.
It isn't.
No, your name's not Steve. So, or Sam. I love. My name is Sam. No, it's not. It's maybe the first 3 letters of your name, but it's not. So
remember when that customer come in, and I was like, and it was clear what he wanted, and I said, buddy, I tell you what, I don't want your garbage, but I will buy it from you if you just tell me the truth. And then he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get high. And so I bought his garbage and I threw it away.
Right.
Because it was, you know,
sure.
I just wanted to hear somebody tell me the truth for once, even if I had to pay for it. But normally you got to pay them to lie to you.
That's the that could be the key to society. We just have to pay for the truth and real emotions. I told one of them the same day the other day, you know, if you just, I might give you my credit card number if you just tell me your real name one of these times. Just tell me your real name. Oh, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Mark's going to come in next week or what the schedule is or what the weather's going to be. And we'll touch on the weather since we're going to have another Snowmageddon or Icemageddon or whatever is supposed to be coming, of course, on Thursday. So we rescheduled our ladies' night up here at AP Cigar to the 23rd because I figured 20 days after the first Snowmageddon.
24th.
24th. Yeah, you're right. 24th. So I figured 21 days after.
You're going to cancel it this time, but there ain't gonna be a flake fall from the sky.
Yeah, I think there will. Yeah.
You know how this weather is. I don't think there will.
You want to bet on it? You're not a gambling man.
I tell you what, I will dismiss the pocket watch bet.
Wait, how many years was that? That was probably 3 or 4 years ago. Did I buy it?
I think so.
Yeah, I bought this pocket watch at the pawn shop, and I bought it for way too much money. And I told Chuck he goes, what are you doing? I was like, I'll get this out of it. And I think I sold it for the amount I said because it's nowhere to be found. So obviously, I wouldn't just.
It got thrown away.
I would not dispose of evidence like that.
It got thrown away. You throw everything away. Yeah. It got thrown away. Yes. Right. What was you just saying?
This mic.
Right. What was he just saying? All right, then. At least I don't get up and answer mine.
Well, when they call 3 times.
Hey, I got asked what was wrong with that truck this morning.
What truck?
That S10.
Where's the S10? Oh.
And I drove that thing, to the head shop to buy our cool little plate that I bought. And then I drove it halfway home, and then I thought to myself, did I lock the freaking door? And then I drove it all the way back here. There's nothing wrong with that truck.
I don't think so either. He definitely had an issue. Like I don't know
he's definitely got issues.
I don't know if the weed hit different.
He's definitely got issues.
So I'm not sure. So.
You know what was probably going on? He was probably a little high.
Right.
Just a little.
Right.
You know, just not
a smidge. Smidge.
Not real high, just a little.
Right.
He was probably drumming along to the worst metal band ever on the steering wheel. He's probably just going nuts.
And you think he lost control?
And he lost control.
No, I don't know. Supposedly it wobbles and this and that, and yeah. So he hit a series of potholes, which is obvious right now, and so he hit a series of potholes, and then he felt like his wheel was off, like it was that bad, like it was pulling one way, it was pulling the other way, and then he drove up here, like it was fighting him, and then he drove it up here, so he put it in the back, he jacked it up, looked at it, couldn't see anything bent, wrong, anything, but the rear end, the ass of the truck is over a little bit. He said the e-brake cable is, rubbing against the tire or something now? So I told him, throw it up on a rack and then take a look at it and see if there's anything noticeable. And if nothing else, we can throw those wheels in the bed and be done.
Right.
So I feel like we missed stuff from the first recording that we weren't recording. Did we cover everything? Crappy weather's coming.
Yes.
Ladies,
Mark's new name is the Cigar Nerd, not the Viking.
right. And then Mark's not here, clearly. He's
Yeah,
not
clearly.
here. And
He had an emergency.
he had a little
Dick
fan.
skinnyomedy.
Yeah, I got another.
That's probably what actually happened.
What
He
happened?
probably didn't have any dick skins clean.
Oh, I bet you he's got more
just
in the.
couldn't.
I bet he's got more in the wrapper than Danny does. I bet he's got so many new ones that Danny calls him when he runs out of inventory.
Just marinating.
Yeah, they're just increasing in value.
Just marinating in the Corona.
I got another dick skin coming, so I found one I liked.
They're nice. I'm not paying $75 for one.
Well, I haven't
I'm
bought
just
it.
not doing it.
I haven't. I owe 71.
Not doing it at all.
71.
You know what I can buy for $71? Lots of stuff.
Stupid trays with tapes on it.
That was only 12. So we've been making a mess on our table. So I went and bought this tray so we wouldn't make a mess on the table no more.
Which we probably still will, but
Unless we just dissect an acid, then we will make a mess because I will
throw everything in the air.
throw tobacco in the air because those are full of garbage tobacco too. In case you didn't watch last week. Anyway, I bought that tray, and
Nice.
I had a choice between that cassette,
Mm-hmm.
Bob Marley,
Right.
and marijuana leaves.
Yeah.
That was my choices.
Yeah. Good choice. That's a little
And
more
that-
fitting.
And that one came with a cool sticker. So
And I like the. I don't know if it's going to be able to be seen, but it might.
we both had tape cassettes.
Oh yeah.
So
I like how it's called the Syndicate rolling tray.
it's actually a really nice tray. I figured it was going to be garbage, but it's
Yeah.
actually pretty nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Put our cigar in there.
Yes.
Yep. So Chuck and I went and did some one wheeling on Sunday. It was a beautiful day, 60 degrees, super strong winds, probably 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Other than that one time, it didn't bother me at all.
Well, we caught a wind tunnel right there.
Yeah, that's the only time I had a problem with it.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me at all.
Well, if we didn't have that wind, you might have made it back to the truck.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably so.
So I was doing some reading because I was rather disappointed, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna sneeze. And wait for it.
I'm waiting.
Wait for it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the reason why you had so much more battery life, despite yours being older and the battery having more mileage on it than my battery, because I don't think that battery's got hardly any mileage on it now.
Right.
I think I put that battery in, and I think all I've done is since then is because it's been cold is right around in here.
Right.
The pint has a hard time. It struggles with hills more than the XR does.
Well, I'm going to go back to your tire again. And
I don't think it's the
obviously, Chuck and I are infatuated with these one wheels.
I don't
And
think it's the tire.
so, but when we had stock pint for pint, I would have 10% more than you.
I still don't think it's the tire. I just don't.
What was the difference when they were the same?
Well, the tire's different.
That was when
See,
they were
different-
both stock.
The tire's different.
Yeah. So it's got to have something to do with that, or
I think
your
mine had more mileage.
yeah, that could be. So your batteries might not.
Might have been a little. I think mine's a different firmware than yours was.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of difference, actually. I just don't think it's the tire. I don't.
I don't think it would be either, because I mean that treaded isn't that. It's not that resistant.
They're boasting 16 miles with that quart battery,
Right.
and I got 9.
Yeah. And I got 10 with 35% left. Out of the XR though, I was on a bigger board.
So it's not that tire. That tire might cost me 14 or 15, but that's it. That's not that tire.
Chuck had to do the sit of shame. It's kind of like the
Right.
walk of shame,
Right.
and you have to do the walk of shame if both
twice.
if both people run out of juice, then you have to walk and carry your 30-pound board.
Hey, at least we weren't on Pearl.
Right. Yeah. We went through Alton, Illinois, and we went through. I thought we kind of went all over the place. I really, I enjoyed, and next time we do, a city route like that, I'm sure you'll be on the XR. But the brick roads were quite a bit of fun on the XR.
Well, so I wanted to test that battery, and I wanted to, and that's part of the reason why I floated into work yesterday, was I wanted to see how that XR was on those roads. And it's a lot better on those roads than that pine is, man. That pine follows everything everywhere. So I think, because I plan to commute,
Right.
probably a lot on it this spring and summer,
Right.
I think that if we go like rolling around Alton, or if I'm going to commute, or I think it's going to be the XR, and I think the pine will just be for like good trails.
That's what I was. So that's what is the pint good for except for indoor riding,
Good trails.
or just, I don't think so.
A nice solid bike path.
Yeah, but you're not getting the range. You're not getting the range that the XR gets.
Really, it was them hills. We climbed a lot of hills.
Yeah, we did. We did a lot of.
And then I tried to go mudding.
Right, that was
and
fun.
That didn't help none.
Tried to go icing. That was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was I was pretty successful at that.
I was pretty impressed. I thought you were going to eat it for sure.
So, but
We tried to find an abandoned house.
yeah.
Well, we found it.
I
but
think it was up that drive.
Yeah,
but that
it probably
drive
was.
was just too nasty to.
it was a good loop. I liked that loop where we came out.
Definitely.
I liked all the terrain. I liked the river views. It was cool to show you some things that you hadn't seen.
When we popped out, I had no idea where we were.
Yeah.
No idea at all.
And so Chuck and I are close to the same age and lived in different towns, different friend circles. But the amount of times we crossed paths it's pretty funny. Just different things that like.
I like people in common and then still didn't. Like, I hung out with Laura for a long time.
Right.
And never met you.
Right. Well, I was done hanging out with her by the time you started hanging out with her. And then, because I think I moved to Jerseyville or whatever. I don't know what school she went to at that point. So
I was at Riverview Park when you climbed the stairs.
yeah, in the Samurai.
Yep.
Had a bunch of buddies. And so Riverview staircase is pretty tall. I'd say it probably goes up 30 feet.
Yeah. Probably more than that.
And it's straight up. And it's all concrete stairs. And those stairs are probably 80, 100 years old.
Yep.
And one night, I decided I was going to climb said stairs in a vehicle, with my dear friends in it. So if we did roll over, I was going to kill 3 out of 4. And so we went up the stairs and did a little U-turn and went right back down the stairs. And lo and behold, Chuck's sitting right up there with his friends.
Yeah, I was at the in the what do they call them?
Pavilion?
The gazebo.
Gazebo, yeah.
I was in the gazebo.
And then, they're just sitting up there hanging out. And then next thing you know, here comes a vehicle climbing upstairs that shouldn't be climbing upstairs and turns around and goes back down. And they're like, well, we should go because probably the cops are coming.
The cops are definitely coming now.
I climbed so many stairs on the old Alton High. I climbed up to the very top, all the way up to the school, and then turned around, and then I was freaked out because that staircase was straight. I had all my big friends in the back, leaning back. No seatbelts on. I don't know how any of us are alive.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. So I was reading a funny thing today about the Piasa bird. Showed up on a Alton history page, and somebody was talking about the metal Piasa bird. And then after it was taken down, it was just stored in the mud underneath the bridge.
Yes.
And then I smiled real big because
That's my story.
yeah. Then you and your friends decided to steal it, and then
Well, we tried.
the police told you to put it back.
Bewildered.
Darn those cops.
I remember that. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I remember that. I remember the look on his face and everything. Like, what are you doing?
I want this Piasa bird, bro.
Right. I'm going to strap this son of a bitch. I don't have any straps. But
Nope.
I'm going to strap this son of a bitch to the top of this wagon with something. And I'm going down the road, bud.
How big was that? Was it as big as a car?
It was bigger than a car.
It was bigger than. I would have loved to have seen
Yeah.
that going down the road.
It would have been bad.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
It would have been bad.
That was-
We would have done it. Don't get me. If
Oh, yeah.
he hadn't caught us putting it on the car, we would have got caught going down 143 for sure. But because I would have done it. But
I wonder how Oh, jeez. How heavy was it?
It wasn't. It wasn't that heavy.
That was me. My shoes.
It wasn't that heavy. It was flimsy.
Really?
It was just tin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing special. Yeah, it was just a big piece of tin. That's all it was.
Yeah, so we had a good time.
Buried. It was buried in the mud too. I don't even remember how. I think I stepped on it or I tripped or something on it or something like because a part of it was hanging out or something, and then I just kicked it until I realized what it was. I was kicking the mud off. It was literally buried in the mud.
So you're almost like an archaeologist.
Right.
Yeah, you sifted through the dirt to
I
find.
found the remains of the python bird. Nobody else has.
Nobody else has. Man, you're famous. You are famous.
We won't talk about for what though.
Nope.
Yeah, that was before they built the marina. That was when that was all just garbage down there. Before they just
weren't they scrapping down there before they built the marina? Like on the other side of the bridge, I think they were scrapping for a while. I think somebody bought that and scrapped that. They'd pull like old barges in and scrap.
Maybe down a little ways from where the bridge was.
Yeah,
maybe
just a little bit.
That would make sense because that's pretty much where it was.
Yeah,
and there was a bunch of garbage that was down there.
Right.
So, that's the case. And you want to know what's weird about that? That was the only time Alton cops were ever came down there. We partied there almost every night.
Really?
For a long time and have never seen them. We had a bonfire so big one time there was no way you couldn't see it over the levee. No way.
Yeah, I'd like to take the one wheels there behind that first gas station and go back. There's the confluence where the two rivers.
Yeah, the dam.
Yeah, there's a little bit of dirt path back there. I rode bicycles back there on it. So Ginger wants to go run the SIUE trails when they dry up. And she goes, you can take the one wheel. And I was like, let me check my insurance, make sure.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, like the running single track.
She wants to run?
She wants to run it, and then I'm going to ride the one wheel. So
that's where Wingnut almost died mountain biking.
Yeah, so I love bicycling.
So you know.
And I'll do a few 100 miles a year on the bicycle. But I have just a love for guys that can go mountain biking, man. There's just, when we were kids and I could get on a BMX and shoot down a hill and somehow navigate through all the trees and hit a ramp and fly through the air into water, all that was fine. But now I'm looking at weeks at recovery. So
right, we used to go once a week in me and Wingnut.
Oh, really? Yeah. Go mountain biking? I don't
SIUE.
I just don't have I don't feel very safe doing it. Because I know how I am. I'm going to go faster and faster, and I want to jump higher and higher.
That was his problem.
Yeah, and then
there really ain't no place to do jumps and stuff back there.
There's no jumps there. I've never been on the mountain bike trails.
I haven't been back there in a very, very, very long time.
So
the paper of Wingnut almost, or the story of Wingnut almost killing himself was in the paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in the Alton Telegraph. I could probably still find it. So.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why. It's just another expense for the mountain bike. Because I got to have something fancy. Something to make it easier.
Yeah, I can probably still find it. It's a hilarious article.
Is it funnier than shooting a man in the face with the Civil War era?
No, definitely not.
Oh. Because that's pretty funny.
So we come around, we was coming down this hill, and I was being careful, of course. Because I'm a more careful person than 90% of the people out there. I still do my fair share of dumb things, but I'm pretty careful. But he come flying around me, and at the bottom of this hill was a 90 turn, and if you didn't make the turn, empty creek, big old ravine.
Oh, wow.
He didn't make the turn. So when he realized he wasn't going to make the turn, he threw the bike away,
right.
Which is smart.
Right.
Except as he was throwing the bike away, he hit his head on the only big tree laying across the dam. The only tree in the whole thing in the ravine. Broke his collarbone, broke his orbital bone right here.
Holy cow!
I thought he was dead when I got down there.
Was he knocked out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Out.
No
blood
kidding.
Coming from his nose. Had a little bit of blood coming out of his ear.
Holy cow!
Yeah, he was messed up.
Jeez.
And
that explains so much. I'm just kidding.
It explains a whole lot. It's not the. I've known him 30 years, and he's had, I know of at least 8 head injuries.
Oh, there you go.
So it explains a whole lot.
There you go.
I don't know how I would find this. So anyway, I get down there and what makes this story so funny is I called 911 and I thought he was dead.
Right.
So I'm on the phone with 911 and I'm all calm. And I'm like, hey, my buddy's dead. And she goes, well, where are you? And I go, well, I don't really know where I'm at. I said, we're back here in the trails on SUE. And she goes, well, can you walk to find a road? And I remember saying something like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do here. So I walked out.
He just left him.
So as I'm walking out of the ravine and away from him, and he wakes up.
Right.
And it switched from being calm to saying the word that we're not allowed to say.
Right.
Nonstop. I mean, I just repeated it. And I freaked out.
Yeah.
And then the paramedics show up, and he's telling him he can walk out. They won't let him walk out. They got to carry him on a stretcher out of this thing. He's being combative.
Oh, shoot.
And my bike, because he had an expensive bike. I had a cheap Walmart bike. I didn't care. But he had an expensive bike, so his bike. Yeah.
I was doing Pure Marquette's trails, which I think they frown upon you riding them. But
they probably do now.
Yeah, and I think they did back then too, but we would still go ride them. So we get to the top, and then you just fly down blind. Yeah. So we're flying down blind, and I was in the lead, and I come around this corner, and it wasn't a 90, but it had a big embankment from all the erosion. So I was going fast enough to be up on the embankment, and I'm shooting down, and it's covered in leaves. And as soon as I can see where the trail's supposed to be, I also see the largest tree I've ever seen, literally, like down across the trail. And so I ditched the bike, and I hit that tree so hard that I folded the frame. I don't know how fast I was going, obviously, but it was, and I just rolled in the dirt and mud for a little while, but I had to walk that bike. There was no keeping the chain on or anything. I kind of rolled down the hill for a little bit on it, and then that was it for the day. But yeah, I came flying around a corner. I'm like, I'm fast as hell, and I'm like, I'm so good at this. And then that tree was probably 5 foot tall, like on its side. It was just a massive tree across this thing, and I couldn't navigate around it. So I just threw the bike right into it and hoped I didn't hit it.
I'll have to see if I can find that and just post a link to it in the comments.
There it is.
I don't care.
There it is.
I hate that phone anyway. I wish it'd break. But another one of his head injuries. This is a really, really funny story. Really, really funny story. This just tells you, for everybody out there that wants to know how much of an asshole I am, you're about to find out. We went to St. Joe State Park riding four-wheelers, me and Wingnut and my buddy Chad. And Chad is a Chad, by the way.
Right.
We went riding four-wheelers. And he's an idiot, as you know. He's an idiot.
Sure.
And he got bucked off this four-wheeler going insanely too fast. He had a YZ450, which it was built and it was fast. And he got chucked off this four-wheeler going way too fast. Had his helmet on, but that didn't save him. Massive concussion.
Right.
Like, couldn't remember nothing.
Wow.
So we take him immediately to the hospital. Immediately to Alton Hospital. We drove from St. Joe all the way to Alton Hospital.
Immediately.
And, he was conscious, and he was, but all the way there, well, where's my underwear? So at some point, I guess he was soaking wet, so he went into the bathroom there and took his clothes off and changed clothes, and I guess his underwear didn't make it back on. And he realized this on the way home. So he asked this question so many times. Eventually, I told him he shit himself.
Right.
You shit yourself and had to throw it away. And so I told him that every time he would ask, from St. Joe to Alton Memorial, I would tell him he shit himself.
Right.
So by the time we get to Alton Memorial, he's retained it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we get there, and this nurse checks him in, and she was kind of cute. And this nurse checks him in, and she's asking me questions. And I've already called his mom. His mom's coming up. And she's asking me questions. And then out of nowhere, he goes, I shit myself. And it was all I could do. All I could do, I just covered my mouth. Because I wasn't going to correct him.
Right.
Right. It was no, but you can tell everybody you shit yourself.
Yeah, that's good.
So he calls his boss to let his boss know that he's going to be not coming in the next day because, he had an accident. He tells his boss he shit himself.
Right.
He calls his ex-wife at the time for some unknown reason. I don't know why. Told her he shit himself. Told the doctors he shit himself. Told his mom he shit himself.
That's so funny.
And he never shit himself.
You ever tell him the truth?
And he was mad at me for 3 weeks. At least 3 weeks. Well, I didn't shit me. It's kind of like Steve does. I did not. He was so mad about it.
That's awesome.
His mom died last week. Rest in peace, Judy.
Yeah, that's sad. Seems there's a lot of people I know starting to go.
Yeah,
we're getting to that age.
I only know 2, so I'm
Well,
not getting to that age. I'm only 43, buddy. I
Yeah.
don't know how old you are.
43.
I mean, I know a lot of people that are dying, but they're all on dope. So
No, I don't know any of those.
I mean, they're either on dope or old, one of the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and that's what happens when you get old.
It's just kind of wild. I don't like it.
So my first time meeting Wingnut's mom, if we're on the subject, I might as well tell this story too. My first time meeting Wingnut's mom, he had wrecked his car at the end of my street. And I didn't know who she was. I thought she was a bystander. So somebody come up the hill, because they knew who he was, seen his car. They come up the hill and told us. We were on the front porch.
Right.
And told us. And so we all walked down there to see, what had happened. And he turned out in front of somebody and he had a really nice Grand Prix. I don't remember what year it was, but this car was nice. It was a really, really, really nice car. It was just a stellar example of a survivor.
Right.
And I mean, it was only maybe 10 years old then, but still.
Right.
10, 12 years old maybe.
Talking like rear-wheel drive Grand Prix?
Yep, rear-wheel drive.
Oh, man, G-body.
Rear-wheel drive G-body Grand Prix. It was a really, really nice car.
Jeez.
And totaled after this, right?
All right.
So I go down there to find out what's going on, and there's this lady standing. I thought she was just a bystander, right? I didn't know.
Right.
And she goes, well, this is your fault, Michael. And I looked at her, and I was high as giraffe tits. And I looked around and I go, how do you know? Who the hell are you? And she just kind of shut up, and he goes, that's my mom. And I went, oh, I'm sorry. And I apologized to her, and then I left.
That's funny.
But she always liked me, I think. I think maybe that's why, because I was, standing up for her son right then and there.
Right.
I didn't ask no questions. I got his back. That's my buddy. I got his back. And I don't care what happened.
My buddy in high school gets his license. I was walking to school. He gets his license. He's driving on the very first day. He's driving a Cutlass G-body. Passed down. Kid. Right? He's the second youngest kid. And he's got his younger brother in the car. And I guess we're sophomores. Yeah, had to have been sophomores. So he's driving to school for the first time. He's got his brother in the car. He looks over to say hi to me. He sees me walking. Doesn't stop to, if he would have stopped to offer me a ride, this wouldn't have happened. He hits the car in front of him. That hits the car in front of them. Man. That's when Hardee's was uptown.
Man.
So there's somebody was turning into Hardee's, probably dropped their kid off. Anyway, causes 3-car wreck. So I get to school before him. 6 years later, his dad gets sued.
Oh, 6 years? You can't sue somebody 6 years.
7
years.
7 years.
Oh, man.
7 years. 6 years later, his dad gets sued.
What is that?
Yeah, by both parties. By both parties. Isn't that something?
6 years later.
Isn't that something? So don't get in an accident, folks. Speaking of accidents,
I told him, because that car, like I said, car was really nice. I had a really nice 78 Monte Carlo. Pristine. Not
Right.
a spot, not a flaw inside or outside on this car. 383 stroker.
nice.
And it was still being worked on when he wrecked his car. I hadn't had it yet. I hadn't got it yet. But he goes, but we were making fun of him, for wrecking his car,
Right.
and he looks at me and he goes, "You're going to be next." 2 weeks after I got that car,
Nuh-uh.
same kind of accident.
Really?
Same, opposite side of the car, but same spot in the car. Same kind of accident, same everything, just total. And that car, I mean, his Grand Prix was nice,
Right.
but this Monte Carlo was beautiful.
Jeez.
Beautiful. Not old lady owned its entire life. It's not a spot on it, not a scratch, it was garage. A beautiful, beautiful car.
Look at the value on those cars now.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, not that it would be beautiful anymore because I was 17.
Right. Right.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, beautiful car, man.
So I took
Shame.
Isabel. I let her drive to school today.
Yeah, I was wondering why you had the
Yep. Subaru.
Subaru.
Yep. We'll keep it at Subaru. Yep. She needs so many. You got to have so many hours driving, and I like to be scared to death. So I said, you know what? Why don't you start driving to school, and then I was going to drive the car back, but I was like, what's the point? I'll just drive it up here. It needs to be driven anyway. There's a blinking red light. I don't know what they teach in schools anymore, but we don't know what a blinking red light is. Or she maybe it was virtual that day. I don't know. I have no idea. But so that was exciting.
So does blinking red light mean you don't have to do anything?
You don't have to do anything. You just keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Even though you're the last one at the intersection.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
I agree with that.
That was fun. I did this with Emily. We went driving, quite often, and it's
Careful.
Yeah. So
Careful.
we did burnouts and stuff like that before she had her license, and I think she just had more seat time than Isabel. So I'm trying to get her that seat time, but man, I forgot how short kids are.
See, I had a completely different approach.
Yeah.
Well, they were arguing, and that made me mad. So I figured, well, you both get to deal with it now, and we're just gonna go down the river road.
Yeah. Well, that's a straight road without blinking red lights. So that's probably a better drive. It was. She's doing a lot better. We almost got to the speed limit a couple times, so that was cool. There was one point we saw Dave Lane working on a house in the neighborhood when we were driving around the neighborhood. And we were going so slow that I rolled down the window, had a conversation with him, a full conversation by the time we passed. So we've gotten a lot better. 20's not scary anymore. And then, but yeah, she did pretty good. She's it's like they don't look around, and she's finished her driver's ed. So as soon as she gets her hours, she gets her license. So.
So she's driven in driver's ed too, then.
She's driven in driver's ed. And
you know what really helped us, I think? I think Hinkle mentioned it when he was on a couple weeks ago. Them simulators. We were laughing and making fun of them things, but I think they actually helped us.
So I didn't have them. We didn't have simulators. But, when we were 16... before we were 16, we probably had more seat time driving than what's even required now.
Oh yeah.
So like we had a manual car growing up because transmissions were an extra $800 and none of us could afford it, right? So we had a manual car, and then my brother had he had, in case it was one of those things where I don't know why we didn't call the ambulance. Like it never dawned on us. It made more sense to teach your 13-year-old how to drive a stick shift in case of an emergency than it did to not worry about it and call an ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
Which the fire department was literally down the
Ambulance
same.
costs a bunch of money.
Well, and I think that's what it was. We were super poor, so you didn't call an ambulance. You would drive. I remember I got a huge hole in my leg, and so my grandma takes me to my mom's, and then my mom takes me, and we were far away. We're at a family reunion, like way out in the country, and so my grandma drives me, and like a big hole in my leg, like insane, and so my mom. So we get to the house, and then my mom's like, okay, let's go to the hospital. So then we get in another car, and we drive to the hospital. And they're like, so much time's passed, it's almost healed itself.
Right.
So they didn't do stitches. I still have a scar from this hole in my leg. I was pushing a merry-go-round thing, where you put kids on it, and you run around in circles and push it. Well, I was pushing it, and I was running real fast, and I tripped on this tree root. And I didn't let go of the merry-go-round, so I swung under it and had the bolt.
Oh, geez.
My leg got, and I'm being drugged with it in my leg, and yeah, so still a scar.
There's still one of those in Bethalto.
Is there really?
Yep. You can't go swimming in Bethalto no more. They filled the pool with concrete, but there's still one of those death traps. So those things were death traps.
Oh yeah,
but there's still one of those death traps at the park up there.
So we should take your scooter up there and see how fast we can make it.
Well, I go by all the time. Oh, you mean the Ruckus?
Yeah, the Ruckus.
Oh, the Chuckus.
Yeah.
I would like to sell that thing instead of tearing it up.
Well, I wouldn't be tearing it up. We'd just put it on the side.
Well, I've seen them put the one wheels on them.
Oh, really?
And get them going.
No kidding.
Yeah, I've seen them online doing that. But and I go by it on the one wheel when that's where I go.
Right.
And I think the Pint for some place like that, because I was kind of bored up there on the XR. So really? I think the Pint would be. The Pint was fun. Is funner.
So I know you're banned on one of your accounts on the book.
The main one.
Yep. But I tagged you in the St. Louis One Wheel group. So when you come back, I was having a conversation on there with a guy, and he goes, "I've always wanted to ride from Alton to Grafton." He goes, "But I don't know where the charging stations would be."
None.
So, and I don't know. There's a little store. There's a little store at the boat harbor. Then there's.
Let you charge.
Yeah, they will.
I bet they don't.
Go in and buy a soda. You can plug in.
I bet they don't.
So.
Well, it's only 12 miles. You should be able to make it.
That's what I said. So if you got down there, and you went to like Grafton Winery, buy a cigar from Grafton Winery, grab some lunch, let it charge up, smoke a cigar,
right,
and then hop back on, and you
should be able to make it back.
Should be able to make it back, depending on wind.
Right.
But the winds, if it's a calm day, you should easily be able to make it back and forth.
You're probably going to have to wait till August to do this.
Why? Oh, the flood?
Well, yeah, because it's going to flood.
Yeah, they're not waterproof.
Right. They're not boats. Now we can go up the river road in a jet, John.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We're going to go all over Alton in that jet.
At least down Broadway.
All over Alton.
So when we were up in the, I don't know what it's really called. I've always called it the Ray Plot. So that we went all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're from Alton, you probably know where I'm talking about. But so that's what all those stones are for, all those walls and everything up there.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
That's all flood wall stuff. So they just take it, go right down the hill, and start building the wall. So, but yeah, they, that's been paved over a lot. That looked really nice. And I don't know why there's a gate there. I'm not sure. Because did you see they had a guard shack and a gate and everything?
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, I don't know what that's probably private property again that we weren't supposed to be on. So, but we weren't.
Well, they want to protect those barriers.
Well, yeah, but they didn't have the gate shut, so. And you rode through one, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was a good day.
It was a good ride.
I was reading last night about the state of flow, and like
I don't think I've read that.
So it was like from a cognitive scientist, a neuroscientist. So, and they broke down the state of flow.
It's like some Bruce Lee stuff.
No.
Be like water.
No, sort of, but not really. So it was kind of neat to read it because when we used to go off-roading, when we go one-wheeling, when you do something that not that you're necessarily good at, that you do well at, right? That's
Right.
still it's challenging,
Right.
that a lot of people probably wouldn't do, but it's still good. So like
Right.
even playing video games can get you in this flow, right? So let's say you're on like a big kill streak on whatever game, right? You get
Yeah.
into the state of flow. So, and what it does is it takes your concentration, your skill level, and it puts it to the test, but with such a reward at the end of it.
Right.
And what's really cool about being in a state of flow is you forget, and you're so focused on what you're doing that kind of all your other BS in your life goes away.
Well, yeah, it's that's what I was saying about it. It's Zen.
It is, and well, right. So it's not to be super hippie, but there's actual data.
I was telling somebody that the other day, and my buddy up in Canada. I got a buddy up in Canada, and he was asking me about them because he bought electric scooters, and he was asking me about them, and he was like, "Well, what's the learning curve on them? How fast?" I said, "They don't go fast," and I said, "You don't want them to go fast because the faster you go, the worse you're going to get hurt when you get there."
Right.
Yeah, but he was asking me about them, and I was like, he was like, "Well, you're on it a lot. It seems like you like it." And I go, "Dude, it's." I don't say corny ass shit like that all the time,
Right.
but it's Zen like.
Yeah.
And it's take that as a heavy thought because I don't.
Right.
I'm actually a pretty deep guy, but I don't say stuff like that all the time. So I don't. It takes a lot for me to go corny like that.
It was very interesting to read about what happens to the mind whenever you get into that state of flow. Like, so
You were reading philosophy?
I was reading science. So
That's more of a philosophy
it was
thing.
science. It was actually data and blah blah
I
blah.
mean, yeah, but it's still a philosophy thing.
Trust the science. So anyway, what they did was, they broke it all down, and it just put into words and better words than what I'll ever regurgitate.
Right.
But that what actually happens to your brain, what happens to your thought process,
Right.
your emotional process, everything while you're in this flow. And when we were out Sunday, I hit a top speed, like the fastest I've
Yes,
gone.
we both did.
So I hit 14.3 on mine. So that's what it said, right?
Right.
So, and then I think the fastest before that was like 12.8, right?
That garbage Strava app said I hit 23 mile an hour.
Wow, you're super fast.
Oh yeah,
So
it's like double what the point's supposed to go.
So what was, but I don't remember going that fast. I was in that state. I was in that flow.
It was on the road, I bet.
It was probably on the
I
road.
got pushback.
Yeah, it was probably, well, no, at that point I was in the 13s, which was still,
okay.
yeah. So at some other point, I hit over 14 miles an hour on that thing while I was just in the zone and just carving it up. And it took me probably 2 miles before I was able to really get in touch with that board and start carving with it and feeling good on it. And then it was like, I just wanted crazy terrain. And so that's what we got. I don't know. It was a cool read. That's like when we used to go off-roading, it was the same thing. It was you and this machine and this
Right.
obstacle.
I get that from mowing.
You get that from mowing.
I get that from mowing grass.
Putting the stripes in.
Yep.
Yeah, I do too. I think I get it at the end when I look back and it's all pretty.
I get that while I'm on top of the machine.
Yeah.
Because I got music in my ear the whole time too, though. I don't know if you've noticed, but I got music everywhere I go. I don't do nothing without some music.
So I'd like to try the first nice day that's dry for a little while. I'd like to try to go do the River Road. And then if I take the battery charger, it should, just in case I don't make it, I should be able to charge.
Well, 9 and you still had, it's only 12 miles. So
Right.
9 and you still had,
I
I think that's technically from,
And that's flat.
right.
It's
well,
mostly flat.
It's mostly flat.
Right.
I think technically, that 12 miles is from Alton, not from the park, not from the
That's
Park.
only a mile. So I mean,
Right, but that's still only 11 miles. You still have 35%. You should definitely be able to hit Grafton.
right. So then you gotta wonder about that foot fatigue, because you're talking about 2 hours straight on that board.
If you're, it's only an hour. It's only going to be an hour.
Well, it's an hour up and an hour back.
Well, right.
So yeah, I mean,
But you're going to have a good long hour and a half break in between that.
right. Now, I don't know how long they take to charge. I haven't looked at that. We don't have a fast charger for the XR. So I was kind of, I don't know. I'd like to see if it'll make it, and then wheel around Grafton and go eat and drink and get a cigar. And
It'll either make it to Grafton, and we'll have to charge it. I don't think it'll make it around. I mean, we'll have to see when it gets there. Now, if we both do the CBXR upgrade, they boast 30 miles on that.
Well, that's a definite.
Yeah, they boast 30 miles. It's only $375, and that's why I bought the boards I bought.
Right.
That's why I sought out the boards that I sought out, the 4208 and the 4209, because they're just slap in. You just slap the battery in.
Right on. Right on. I'm going to relight this because I was talking too much about my flow.
Your flow. That's the philosophy. You were reading philosophy.
I was reading data.
Yeah. Okay. That's a philosophy thing. I mean, they might have had, there's scientific data of what your brain does, sure, but it's still a philosophy thing.
Well, if your brain goes into a state of flow, then how's it philosophy?
Because it's a state of mind. And state of mind is a philosophy. They don't really know. They know so little about the brain that they don't really know what's going on. Are you just going to start cutting that open now?
Yeah, you're talking. What am I?
They don't really know what's going on when. They know that it's doing this, this, and this. They know that you're having this reaction. There it is. You're having this reaction and this reaction, These synapses are triggering, and it's doing this, and it's doing that. But they don't really know, what it's actually doing. They don't know that much about our brains.
Do you know how many cigars Fuente makes in a year?
No.
Do you want to take a wild guess?
No, I don't. Millions?
Yeah, millions.
Millions?
30 million cigars a year.
I'd imagine.
Isn't that crazy? 30 million cigars a year.
That's a lot of topless Mexican women rolling cigars. Where's this place at?
They roll out of Dominican Republic.
It's a lot of topless Dominican Republican women rolling cigars.
I don't know if that's...
Can you drive to the Dominican?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to be disappointed when we get there then.
Yeah, you can you can drive to Central America.
Speaking of flow, though, and what it does to you, I read, it was a meme I seen, somebody shared, that spending just 10 minutes in front of a fish tank lowers your blood pressure and your stress levels. Just 10 minutes.
Is that right?
Watching fish in a fish tank.
Watching fish in a fish tank.
Yep. Just 10 minutes.
I think a lot of people get into that state when they have a cigar. So we're gonna look at the difference.
Look how well it's that's still whole.
It's still it's rolled so well. It goes through the same quality controls that all their other top-end cigars go through.
They hold ash well too.
Yeah, for a short filler. This is, and there's no way you're gonna see the detail here. But like as soon as I press down, it's gonna crumble. But we've gotten through the wrapper, we've gotten through the binder, and
everything else is falling apart at that point.
Yeah, and
even the Isla del Sol fell apart.
Yeah, and well, the Isla del Sol was, and this is the clippings from the higher end cigars. So instead of, I'm actually kind of pulling on it, like it's, and we all know that this is a short filler cigar. It's a cheap cigar, but it is just one of the tastiest. You're just smoking a blend of all the great Fuente cigars. But you know what's still not in here?
I know guys that won't smoke, but we got guys that come in here that won't smoke them because of how cheap they are.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're missing out on. Jeff's one of them.
They really don't know what they're missing out on them. Because these are such a great cigar. And, are they constructed, it's a $4 cigar. I mean, that's what it is. So, of course, it's going to be short filler. But what's amazing about it is how well it's made, how well it's rolled. They still do a draw test on it to make sure it's going to draw. And, they, out of 30 million cigars a year, they still don't shortcut on their cheap line.
How do they do a draw test on them? Do they do it before they cap them?
No. What they do is there's a really hot, naked Dominican girl, and she sucks on everyone.
Okay.
Not true at all. There's actually a super cool machine
But there's no hole or nothing in the cap.
Well,
so
it's
how do
before
they?
it goes on.
Well, I just said that, and you said no.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Oh,
Turn my headphones up.
I guess.
So, and they won't draw test every
You
single
were thinking
one.
about a hot naked.
Dominican.
So, yeah, I asked that if they do it before the cap.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did you clip the end off of it? Because the cap's gone on that.
Yeah, I did.
Or
Clip,
did it fall off?
No, I did clip the end
okay.
just to make the cut easier.
Right.
Because I knew the cigar was going to be rolled well.
Right.
So solid binder. That's a couple leaves in the binder, and then the wrappers wasn't a full leaf, but it's still great, fantastic. I mean, and this is by all accounts like if you go into your brick and mortar and they have these, this is about the greatest little daily cigar for your commute, for your like this is how I start my day. Every day is with one.
Right, driving, working on a car, working in the yard. Because you can literally set them down and they will burn for 5 minutes without you paying attention to them.
Yeah, so. and they relight well. I relit this one. There's no ill taste. I've relit some cigars that, they just got super bitter.
Oh yeah, they go nasty.
Yeah, so I'm super happy with it. They say the flavor notes are a little bit of leather, a little bit of nuttiness, a little bit of black licorice.
Some creamy nuttiness.
Yeah, some creamy nuttiness in your mouth. And, and I don't know if I ever get all of that. It's so subtle in the Brevas. It's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be a nice mild stick. And that's what it is. So if you're looking for a fantastic budget cigar, the Fuente Brevas, the curly heads were a big seller back in the day. When I used to work at a different cigar shop, they were 88 cents for a curly head Breva.
Somebody asked about those 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Two weeks ago?
This is just a...
The day I wasn't supposed to be here, somebody asked about those.
Oh, yeah. What was I doing? Moving appliances.
You were one-wheeling while I was working.
No, I was working, man.
I
had to get content.
While you were one-wheeling.
I had to get content. I had to let
But it's okay,
know.
because I'm going to tell you, if Jeff had walked through the door, I'd have left you. I'd have been like, all right, Jeff. He was talking about giving you a job anyway, so see ya. I'll be local.
Call if you need something.
Don't call, I don't answer it.
All right.
I hate that phone.
So, I don't even know. Yeah, so we're going to cancel ladies' night.
I think you should wait.
Nope.
I think you should wait.
40% chance on Wednesday when this airs. It won't even, the high tomorrow is 29. We've already had our high today.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to rain.
Well, yeah, because this is the front coming through.
Yeah, and then Thursday is 80% chance. They're saying 31 degrees is now the new high. So I've been watching this closely, but looks like next Thursday is the best time, 2 Thursdays from now.
Next week's supposed to warm up again.
Sort of.
And I guess
40s,
stay that way.
40s and 50s.
Well, yeah, but 50's warm.
50's not warm. We're just
dealing
with 20s and 30s. It feels warm.
Right.
If it was 50 in Florida, we'd be getting out the parka.
I'd be wearing this hoodie just like now. But
we got firefighters Thursday.
I still think you should wait.
Nope. I'm going to cancel it today so people can change their plans, get rid of babysitters. Because it's going to ice up, even if it's going to ice up. It's going to be dangerous. I want these ladies to have a good time without having to worry about. Because if we're going to leave at 9, 10 o'clock at night, I don't want.
Right.
I don't want anybody to get injured.
I still think you should wait. Damn well how this weather is.
Oh, I do, but I think it's safe to cancel. I've actually already talked to Sarah about it, so safe to cancel, and then we'll just put it off till it's guaranteed to be warm, and then maybe we barbecue or something. Maybe.
Right. Well, I mean, that or you'll have to give that whole $20 back.
Well, I still haven't collected any of them. It's pay at the door.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't collected any money. That's why we don't have any money.
The 20s of dollars.
Hate first quarter.
The 20s of dollars.
First quarter retail.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a bodega in there, except we don't even have weed to sell.
No. Try to sell anything. You guys want to buy chess pieces? Just hit us up in the comments. We'll sell anything that.
You want to buy a house?
Yeah. So
that's a serious comment.
Right.
There's 2 houses that can be sold.
If you're looking to expand your rental portfolio, hit me up.
They both have good renters in them.
Yep.
They're both making income right now.
Good money, just not enough right now.
Right. They're
Right.
both. If you have not screwed yourself completely and entirely by buying a building that should have been bulldozed, then you will make profit immediately from these houses. Yeah, I sent you them pictures. He sent me them pictures.
Yeah, he didn't send them to me.
He sent them to me, and I replied with, "Man, you're working on that thing like you're going to get paid when it's done." Well, that's what's good about having your buddies do stuff. You can just give them all kinds of garbage about it.
But yeah, but it's not false. That's the problem. That's why it's so funny to me, because it's like
He doesn't watch, so it doesn't.
no,
make
I
it
know,
whatever we want.
right. Doesn't have time to watch. So we're almost done with the Alton building.
Yeah, he's got drywall up. He's going to town.
There's some fine things that he's been pushing off the stuff that, like, he doesn't like building door frames. Who does?
Right.
And he's got to build 2 custom door frames for these special doors. And then you put the flooring down, the toilets, the appliances are all there. Then we got to make sure everything's going. We're trying to get it done this week.
This week.
This week.
This week.
Well, wait, what week? No, by next week. My bad.
By the end of next week.
Yeah, by the end of the month.
So once that drywall's all up, you might as well count that drywall done.
Well, no, I'm with that, and it's not.
It won't take no
not
time at all.
necessarily that.
They'll run right through that.
You know, he's done so much. You know, I'm in the process of trying to get pull some money out of one of the rental homes, since no one wants to buy them, just so I can get him paid in full, and maybe order some cigars. So if you come into AP Cigar and you see the inventory's a little light, just blame my mom. So, because I'm broke. I'm broke. I saw a sign the other day at Burger King said, if you work today, you're paid tomorrow. I almost took that up today. It's like, I'm off this week.
Right.
$20
all week.
$20.
Well, they're using this thing.
Yeah. Somebody broke it down for me. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Thing.
Now I got to pay interest on my own pay. Yeah,
Yep.
Get out of here.
They charge you like $4 or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Nah, dude, I need money.
Right. It was kind of ridiculous, though.
So I kind of wish there was some kind of stimulus for first quarter. That's what I need. I need stimulus. But you know what?
Stimulated.
I'm in a good mood, man. I am. You know.
Well, you can only stare at the pit of hopefulness for so long before you just start laughing at it.
Yeah, and I'm at the. You're right. No, I'm at the laughing point. You know.
You either jump off or you start laughing at it. So.
I tell a lot of people, you know, and it's kind of a cruel, hard way. Like, you know, like, hey, I want to start a business. And I'm like, awesome. I go, before you do, I'm going to come over to your house. I want to punch you in the face as hard as I can. And then once you get used to that, getting punched in the face every single day, then I want to kick you in the balls after I punch you in the face, because that's kind of what this is. And it's funny because I love it. I love this stress. I do. And it's just a little prolonged, but you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, and I know it's there. It's not like this is complete despair. It's just it's just tight right now.
It's just, you know, probably some other building you could have bought for.
I got such a good deal.
I don't know about that anymore.
I don't
know about that anymore.
Obviously, I did not. That was like Steve's.
I think somebody has laughed. I can't believe he bought that.
Mm-hmm. I'm in a good group of guys down there. You know, people trying to save buildings, work on buildings. The building next to us is going to be 2 storefronts with apartments upstairs, and the storefronts won't be bars, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
What do they got in them? They got somebody going in them already?
No, and I was in there.
They want an exorbitant amount of money?
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen down there as far as dollars, but I am pretty good buddies with the guy who owns it. So
I think a board shop will go over real well down there.
I'm going to start punching you in the face.
I really do. I really think. Well, it'll be your board shop, not mine.
So if we do if we do anything down
and
there,
you're already used to it. So
if we do anything down there, if we were to do something like that, a board shop, like we would have to do rental boards.
Well, yeah.
And we would have to do rental bicycles.
Yeah.
And then
that's all fine.
Yeah. And I've had that dream for downtown for a long time.
That's all fine.
Renting bicycles so people can go ride down the river road, and
I don't know about renting. I'm renting scooters and renting bicycles. That's all fine.
Right.
I don't know about renting the one wheels.
Dude, that's a thing now.
I know it is a thing now, but I mean,
I was about to tour.
You'd have to prove.
I'm going to tour on my one wheel so I could pay you off for it.
You'd have to prove. You'd have to prove to me before I rented something like that to you that you could ride it. You would have to.
Well, yeah.
You would have to be like, oh, well, here's pictures of me on mine.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know, you'd have to be like, I got the app. Look, there's mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd have to.
Well, and then
because you're gonna get hurt.
And then we'd have to pay so much in lawyer fees.
Insurance, yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure we can't get sued.
The bicycles and scooters, fine.
That's gonna have to be its own LLC. Like
you're gonna have to have insurance on the bicycles and scooters. But I'm telling you, I think a board shop would go over really, really well down there.
Would you do all boards?
Yep.
Like skateboards, longboards?
Yep.
Man, I do too.
Yep.
I do too. And there's not too much place to ride except for, especially on boards. But man, we don't have that. You know,
there's nothing like that down there.
Record shops are coming back.
Yep.
You know, like I think skateboards are awesome. I wish I could do more tricks, but you know, we don't have a place to skate though. You know,
But you know, one of those spots would be perfect because you got that parking lot in the back. You got, I mean, I can think there. We seen when we were one wheeling across from the MCT.
Mm-hmm.
There was that building where they were living underneath they had a big deep awning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they were living. You can tell somebody's been living underneath there. But that looked like a perfect spot for one too. But it's too far off.
Well, that building's not for sale either.
And it's too far off the path anyway. It's not.
I think if you're downtown right there, I mean, you know, I think there's probably going to be like a little clothing store. There's going to be
money.
You know, yeah, but we don't have a lot of hipsters in town.
Yeah, yes we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No.
We invited a hipster on here today. He just didn't show up.
Yeah, but
we got a hipster that comes in here every Monday.
Yeah.
They're around. They just don't look the same as they do in Seattle. That's all.
Actually, they kind of do.
They're around.
They kind of do.
But I think it'll go. I think it'll go over just fine. I think it'll go over real well.
The inventory alone would have to be insane. But if we could cover our costs just on one wheel repair.
Yep.
If we knew how to repair one wheels.
Yep. Well, if
there's
I
that.
can. There's what?
I said there's that. We don't know how to repair one wheel.
Well, if I could get some broken controllers in and get them off to somebody.
Right.
I know a guy, you know a guy.
Reverse engineer them.
And just figure out what's going wrong and why they're going wrong and fixing them. What the hell was that all about?
We're not open yet.
And just fixing them. If they can be fixed, we don't know. They can be fixed. Somebody out there is fixing them. I found out right before I got banned that somebody is out there fixing them, but it's massively expensive, and the wait time is horrible. So we can just get that fast tracked and get somebody. I don't know, man.
Could do it on the second floor of the Alton building.
That's not really though.
I mean, we couldn't do bicycles because that staircase is pretty narrow.
I mean, and who's going to come up there for a board shop? Nobody's going to come upstairs for a board shop.
Nobody's going to go upstairs for anything.
Nope.
People are lazy.
Yep. But right there next to
Yoga
that's
studio.
a good spot. That'd be a good spot.
You know, it'd be a good store selling yoga supplies.
Right next to the
yoga studio.
Well, you could. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing. You could have that stuff in there too.
Yeah. Yep. Mats and blocks and wheels.
I mean, it all kind of fits into the same.
It does. I mean, there's truly a health and wellness benefit to bicycling and skateboarding and one wheeling. You know, that's, you know,
my legs burned all day yesterday. Don't tell me I'm not getting a workout.
Yeah, no, and especially my lead leg. My lead leg is way tighter than my back leg. So it was
And then that carving works your core.
Yeah, and man, it was awesome. I'm excited just to go further. I'm excited for the trip out. I took the GoPro and didn't even turn it on.
I'm excited for the weather.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too.
Can't wait for this stuff to break. get a good hard rain, I get the van back out. It's got a tire going flat.
Of course it does.
Well, when something sits, it goes flat.
Right.
I start it all the time, and now I'm afraid that I'm going to have to buy gas in a can to put in. I don't know if it'll make it to the... As I just start it and let it run in the garage.
Sure.
I do the same thing with the Chuckas.
Right.
And I go out there once a week and start it and let it run.
Right.
So I don't let nothing sit. That jet skis or that Jet John's been sitting because it's outside.
It's got more water in it.
It does have more water in it. It is plumb full of water. So, and big leaves from my stupid tree.
Dude, I have the what's the those spiky balls? What are the sweet gum balls?
Yeah.
There's so many in my front yard right now that my whole yard is dark brown. It is because of all the winds and everything. It's
Right.
insane how many are there.
What's cool about that XR is you can run right over those. You can't do that on that pint. I hit one.
I'd be scared to freaking get a flat.
I hit one on the Basalto bike, on the Basalto
Bike trail.
park trail. I don't really know what they call it. I'd go from the police station where I park my non-plated truck. I go from back there all the way to the end of the Arboretum to where Morrill Road is, and then back. So
What is that? Is it a couple miles?
no, it's
Not even that.
It's probably not even a mile. It's probably close to a mile, but if that, probably not even that.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to get Ginger to start riding one.
I got Sarah on it, but she wasn't too pleased with it.
Ginger did really well with it.
I'm gonna look for a scooter, an electric scooter, I think, for Florida.
Well, I wanted her to get good at it, so that way we can go into like Edwardsville, and then we could ride to this nice restaurant, and then have a snack and a drink.
But you got to be careful; they'll let you bring it in.
They'll let me bring it in.
So I don't know.
I'll walk right in with it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm the same way. I wouldn't ask either.
No, I'm just gonna go in.
Now, if you get her on it, which one are you gonna get her on?
Well, I mean the pint until I can buy another XR.
No, I think if I get Sarah comfortable riding one, I think it'll be the
XR.
It'll be the XR because
It's more stable.
Well, it's got a top speed, so as long as she's not trying to outrun me,
Right.
she'll never have to worry about nosedive.
True.
So, and that's why. So
You thought you felt pushback.
I know I felt pushback. I know for a fact I felt pushback.
It must have been at that 25 miles an hour.
Right, 23.
23.
That Strava app is junk. I don't like it at all.
So I used, I should have done the Garmin. I should have tracked with the Garmin
Right,
because this uses a few more satellites,
right.
but it didn't connect enough to tell me my one-wheel battery. It just said it's waiting for the app to give me information. So I set it up quickly, so I might have missed a step. So sometimes I don't pay attention.
Yeah, so we need an electrical engineer. If you know anybody that knows,
Do we need software?
Really, really
We need
good.
a software guy, right?
I don't know.
Because there's a
I don't know how I don't know how any of it works.
right.
So it's got a MemCow chip on it,
I don't even know what that is.
but can you take, and you've got to be able to extract the memory from the MemCow chip. But I don't know how none of that works. So,
We need nerds.
because if you can extract a memory from the MemCow chip, if you can extract it and store it, then you can put it on anything you want.
Right.
Which means you could completely and totally rebuild that board. And we're not talking about patent violations at all, people. Not at all. It's not what we're discussing. Just throw that out there. We're not talking about stealing anybody's technology.
Nobody cares. Nobody that watches cares.
None of our 92 people care.
Right.
But if you could extract the software from it, then you could put it on. You could build that board to where it was repairable. Because my one guy that's seen the pictures of it, because it's all I've got is pictures right now, he said, "Dude, those are throwaway. They're throwaway boards. They're not meant to be repaired."
And that might be a thing.
That's nonsense.
I mean,
It's not really a thing. No, you can build them to repair them.
it's called BER, Beyond Economical Repair.
Yeah, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be economical. That's what I'm saying. That's going to be because they're not.
They're not.
If you buy one brand new right now, You buy one brand new right now, you for probably the next 6 months, you could probably get it warranted. If something stupid goes wrong with it, you probably get it warranted.
Right.
But once that GT hits and starts selling like crazy, they're not gonna honor it no more. They're already not honored. They're not honoring the old pints.
Right.
So once the Pint X dropped, they stopped warranting the pints. They're a terrible company from what I'm finding out.
Yeah. No, they are. They
absolutely do not deserve your money. Unfortunately, these things are worth the money. So
They are. They're an absolute blast. I try to put people on them all the time. Well, I was down at Grand Cru. When it was nice 2 weeks ago, I guess. And I put there's a guy named Corey there. He sells the Leaf by Oscar and a couple other different cigars. And he's old cowboy, wears cowboy hat, cowboy boots, right? He's from Kansas City. And awesome dude. We're unfortunately not in his territory, so he never gets over here. But great dude. I love talking to him. He's got a ton of knowledge.
You know who we need to get on it then?
Who?
I mean, if you're getting cigar reps on there,
Right.
we got to get Gomi on it.
Gomi will get on it. Gomi's cool like that. Gomi will get on it, love it, buy it, and ride around Florida.
Right.
So, Goni Herrera is our Gurkha rep.
Now, is it? Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, Goni. It's like Tony with a G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Goni's awesome.
My bad.
But yeah, so I put him on it. He fell once, because I told him when you get off, I said when you get off of it, jump with both feet. All right, I told him just to jump off. Well, he only jumped off with 1 foot, left his front foot on the sensors, and then did the splits and down to the ground, right in Soulard. So
we all do.
Pretty awesome.
We all do.
When is my? Oh, I gotta go get a COVID test.
We when today?
No, I think tomorrow.
Can you do? Does the at homes count, or do you have to have the
PCR?
Specific?
Yeah, I gotta have PCR.
I mean, I got all them free at homes from the government.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's funny.
They finally came.
The
the government's giving away something. I'm taking it.
Did you get your crack pipe?
No, not yet.
There's no
I will get the crack pipe.
There's no crack pipes. Get your chapstick. That's the only thing you're getting.
My chapstick, my alcohol swabs.
That's right.
Better be Carmex too. Don't be cheaping out on me, Brandon. Or put some Carmex in there.
You know what a sweet gig that could have been. That'd have been a sweet deal for like Brad McCauley. He sells that chapstick.
Right. I'm telling you right now, what a sweet deal it would have been if they were giving away free crack pipes. Because I'd have went back into production. I'm telling you. I mean, if the government's going to sanction you to smoke it.
Right. Here you go.
Right. So when I went in and bought this yesterday.
Right.
I had to wait a minute because they had somebody in there buying stuff. And I had to wait a minute for the guy. And so I was walking around looking at stuff. And I asked him, I was like, man, do you think they're still popping people for dugouts and stuff? And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, do you think they're still popping people? You think they're still... I go, it's going to depend on, were you a dick to the cop or not. But do you think they're still... like getting people for paraphernalia, for having the dugouts and having the pipes and the why?
Well, because it's so
that's ridiculous.
The weed is only supposed to be in a medical container.
I know.
So if you have weed in a wooden box, it is not from the dispensary.
But how do you?
That's how that goes.
It's so I wonder. So State Boys,
we know somebody.
State Boys definitely.
We know somebody that has gotten and it's a ticket. You're not getting a criminal charge. It's a fine.
It's always been a ticket.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it's always been a ticket.
I don't know. I've never been caught.
I only got caught that one time.
Right.
But it's always been a ticket. It's a $750 ticket.
Yeah. So we know somebody, they come in here on Fridays, their son got popped. And it was just a little bit of garbage, a little bit of weed.
Okay.
And a pinch hitter.
So you don't know somebody that's popping them for it. You know somebody that got popped. So you don't know the story behind that.
Well, no, but he's a good kid.
Know.
I mean, his Jeep Grand Cherokee was filthy.
Oh,
when we got it.
I know who you're. He strikes me as that he could be kind of a
asshole.
Yeah,
his dad's an asshole.
He's right. He strikes me like he was raised by somebody in the CIA that went around and told everybody they did maps for a living.
Right.
with Google out there.
Right.
He strikes me like he could be kind of a smart, like he would get kind of a, yeah. I mean, he seems like he's a good kid when he comes in here.
Yeah. He's a good kid. He's got a good heart. He probably missed a turn. He probably, he's got the long hair.
I bet he got a little shitty.
He was in Edwardsville.
Well,
so there's that.
Well,
you don't get away with anything in that town.
That's not true. Let me tell you. When I worked for RL Drywall, I was coming through, what's that cutoff road that the high school's on?
Governors or something.
Yeah, Governors Parkway, where the jet is.
Yeah, so it's not Governors, but whatever. I know
where the jet is.
Right.
So I just passed the jet.
Right.
And I was following my boss to the job site in the van, and he was losing me because that's the kind of asshole he was.
Right.
And he was trying to lose me on purpose, so he could make me figure it out and then give me a bunch of shit.
Right.
For being high as giraffe titties. And not being able to find the job and being late. That's the kind of person he was. So I was on to him because he did it all the time. And I was on to him. So I passed the car in the suicide lane.
Huh.
And I was so high that there was a cop sitting, apparent, right in front of me on the side of the road and I passed right in front of him. And this cop pulls me over. What did that just say? That just said something. Is that still recording?
Yeah.
This cop pulls me over, and I am no way of hiding it. High.
Right.
And my pinch hitter is now between my legs because that's how much time I had.
Right.
And he goes, "What are you doing?" And he chews me out.
Right.
Rightfully so. Chews me out, and I go, "Man, my boss is an asshole. He's trying to ditch me so, he can give me a bunch of crap for not showing up." And my boss pulls over, right? So he sees me getting pulled over, so he actually pulled over. And not way up there.
Right.
But I was able to point to the van, and he could still see the van. And he goes, "Well, are you stupid? Did you not see me?" And I go, "Obviously not, or I wouldn't have done that. No, I'm not stupid." And he goes, "Well, you're lucky. You're going to work. Get to work. Quit driving like that. I'm going to be watching for you." And beat up piece of junk S10 Blazer.
Right.
And the same one I talked about before that had no business being on the road. And he let me go. And there's no way he couldn't smell it because I was just smoking it.
Right.
There was no way he couldn't tell. There was none of that, and he let me go. So
yeah, count your blessings on that one, buddy.
So you can get away with some things.
Yeah, I don't play up there.
No, definitely not. Jerseyville's one I never made.
That whole county. I don't know how you got out of that ticket last week.
Right.
You shouldn't have gotten out of that ticket. That should have been a few $100s right there.
I shouldn't have gotten out of those 5 tickets.
Right. Bad trailer tags, no lights.
No lights, bad trailer tags, no front plate, no proof of insurance.
The windows are probably too dark.
I didn't have my seatbelt on. So.
Yeah.
He took pity.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
He took pity.
Emily got a speeding ticket in Jersey County.
Emily was probably speeding.
Yeah, she was.
County.
Yeah, she definitely was.
So you can't tell me Emily got a ticket and expect me to think she was innocent.
No, she wasn't. No, we paid the fine. They have a neat system up there because all they want's money, right?
Well, that's all any of them want is money.
Right. So you're on probation for as long as it takes for you to pay off the ticket.
Okay.
So we went up there and paid the ticket and like, all right, so no probation, right? And they're like, well, it's 24 hours. Well, it didn't take me 24 hours to pay this ticket.
Well, yeah, but it takes them that long to enter the damn.
Yeah.
To enter the information.
I'm like, so you have to go one day without getting another ticket. So.
Right.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm done.
Yeah, the camera did something funny.
Yep.
So
probably not recording right.
Sure, we've lost something. So what's up next week?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to work on getting Kate up here since he's got a one wheel.
You'll have to suffer through us by ourselves all over again next week.
Maybe we'll cut something. I don't know. We have no idea. We'll have a surprise guest.
Cut something good.
Cut something expensive.
Dan's going to be up here sometime on the 3rd, I think.
3rd of March? That's on the weekend.
No, it's like a Thursday.
Look it up.
But Dan's going to be up here pinstriping.
What's he pinstriping?
Back of my tailgate.
Oh, okay.
Truck.
You doing red?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
third,
don't know yet.
third is Thursday. Weekend. Oh, he was on before.
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Red and white.
I might cancel with him because I look at that thing and it's just chipping everywhere.
So you need a repaint?
I don't want to. I kind of like the way it looks. I mean, it needs an accent color, but I kind of like the way it looks.
Right.
Hey, that reminds me. Does anybody know? Put in the comments if you know. A little viewer, whatever you call it.
Interaction.
Interaction. Does an underwater car wash just spray down the center? Because I paid for an underwater car wash.
An underwater car wash.
Under car.
Okay.
Under the bottom.
Sure.
Does it just spray in the center?
I have no idea.
Because that is absolutely stupid if it just sprays in the center, especially when they're advertising, remove the salt,
Right.
prevent corrosion, because it's going to be on the outside where the wheels are throwing it.
Well, I don't know.
So I went through one the other day, not far from here,
Right.
and I paid for the underwater $10 instead of the normal $6 one I get,
Right.
and that truck was bone dry on the outside. Like, I even made a little video of it. Bone dry. And I was just wondering if maybe I was wrong about how they work.
I don't know.
That makes no sense to me that it would be like that.
I
But
fixed that same car wash last time I was there.
you fixed it.
I fixed it. The chain that moves the cars through came off. So there's a truck in front of me, and I asked him if he had a pry bar.
Right,
There was already a guy down in the pit. It was like 40 degrees.
right.
And so I got a pry bar, and I pried up this thing, and he pushed it over, and we all went through the car wash. So
Nice.
yeah, they gave me the fancy wash for my $6 wash.
Nice.
I got through the fancy wash. The whole tailgate of my truck, not touched.
Yeah, I believe it.
Not touched.
Yeah.
So I'll never go through a drive-through again
Yeah.
because it won't wash it.
Well, I just wanted the undercar. I
Yeah.
just wanted to spray the salt and stuff. I mean, that truck is That truck is spotless underneath.
Really,
And I just wanted to spray the salt off it so
Right.
it remains spotless underneath.
take a creeper to the car wash.
So,
Roll around.
so
I don't know what we're gonna do next week. I'm gonna try to get Cade, see how busy he is. I'd like to get him on.
well, I just watched him drive by, so he's not that busy.
No, he's never that busy. I saw him yesterday. Well, I yelled at him yesterday. I was coming back into town from wherever I was, and maybe it was morning. But I rolled down the window. I caught him down in Wood River, and I told him, I said, "F work, man. Let's just go one wheeling. This is nice weather out." So, but
Right,
we all have to do our work.
right.
So, all right.
All right. All right.
Is that it?
Catch us next week. Like, subscribe, share. We have Instagram, Unrolled Cigar Podcast
Hey,
on
did
Instagram.
Did anybody say Mark's a nerd?
Nope, I did because nobody else would.
No kidding. Hey, and you got your free hat.
Milo owes us a hat because he didn't say it. I told him to say. I gave him specific directions. And
I think he bought a hat.
Well, did he give you money for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He bought it. He paid
yeah.
for it then. Unrolled Cigar Podcast on Instagram. Unrolled. Just Unrolled on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Just Unrolled on Facebook. We could use the subscribers
Yep.
over there.
Holler at us.
Share so everybody else starts, so maybe your friends might want to sit through this boring garbage and like it too.
Right.
Like, comments, interaction in the comments is key to YouTube. We're not supposed to make stupid people famous, but 2 more won't hurt. And we're not the stupidest people that could be famous. So
I did buy a building that should have been condemned.
right.
So
Well,
kind of stupid.
kind
of ranking up there. All right, come up here and hang out during the Snowmageddon. We don't close. What did the milk truck say? We may doze, but we never close. Actually,
No, we
we're
don't.
closed all the time, but
we don't. Right.
we're,
Right.
we're closed when we're open.
That's right.
All right, and then we'll see you next week. Batten down the hatches, get your milk, eggs, and bread. Make some French toast. It's gonna be Snowmageddon.
Right.
All right.
Again.
Peace out.